Hey YouTube, RicoKnows here. Going to talk to you guys about my hidden gem on North Carolina, the Tar Heels. But before I do that, I just want to remind everybody, if you want to see the hidden gem that I've identified on every single team in America, all you have to do is go to the homepage on YouTube, click on playlists, find the RicoKnows Hidden Gems College Football Playlist list, and you can watch all the videos, okay? So I'm going alphabetical by conference, currently in the ACC, and we're on North Carolina. And when you look at North Carolina, they have a bunch of people that I wanted to identify as a hidden gem, if you will. There's Connor Harrell. And remember, I'm trying not to look for starters. I'm trying not to look for every guys you know, like everybody knows them. Yes, I know who's going to have a great season. I know who. I'm not trying to point out the best player on the team. I'm looking for hidden gems. So when I look at running backs, I'm excited for what Omarion Hampton's going to do next season, but I would probably be interested to see who's his backup. And I'll talk about that when I go to the depth chart right now. Same things at wide receivers. Shout out to them. I want to talk about Nate McCollum. He's a known commodity coming over from Georgia Tech last year. It didn't work out. Like I wanted more out of him, and all he had was 44 receptions. I want that man to have 88. But I do need to talk to you guys about offensive schemes, offensive coordinators, and wide receivers coaches because it does matter. But as you keep going, you'll see some defenders you really believe in. Shout out to Rucker. He just had surgery. I hope he recovers and he gets back at it. They got a ton of great players. They do have some players in the secondary that I'm excited about. I talked to you guys all last offseason. My hidden gem for North Carolina was Elijah Huzzie. That worked out pretty damn good, right? And now Elijah Huzzie's one of the best damn players in America and one of the best defenders on this team. Hopefully he's healthy all season long. But when I looked at North Carolina and I was studying their roster, a lot of things I have to do is go look at their depth chart, go look at their transfers. I know the transfer portal really well. And then once I'm done with that, I then go study their recruiting classes. And when I start turning on the tape for recruiting classes, I don't get too excited because I don't expect these players to be in the two deep. I don't expect them to contribute right away. And then I watch the spring game and I go, yo, those kids are in the rotation. And there's two of them that really balled out of control. Now, shout out to Paul Billups II, and I don't mean to ignore him because Paul Billups II did score a touchdown in the spring game, and he looks really good on tape. I like the kid. Right, redshirt freshman. I like him a lot. Shout out to Paul Billups II. But this particular video is going to be about Jordan Shipp up here, a 4-star wide receiver. This is a 3-time state champ in the state of North Carolina. Okay, all state, blah, 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 almost 3,000 receiving yards in high school. Complete stud. And the thing that sticks out to me is he's 6'1", almost 200 pounds, and he's just physically developed. You're a true freshman, and you're physically ready. He does a lot of things at the point of catch, like at the point of catch. I say the point of catch. When he meets the ball at the highest point, he's ready to make his next move. He has the right balance. He's making the next guy miss. It's just like advanced physical metrics, if you will. Like when you watch tape on him, you just go, oh, that's a physically developed guy. Yep, he knows what he's doing. He looks ready, looks polished. Probably needs to learn the playbook, but he himself looks ready. I see this on the basketball court all the time. You'll see one of these wings who just gets it done. You just look at him and go, oh man, he just got a little bit of extra juice. Oh, he's always making that shot. He's always getting his shot off. They can't quite block it. Same thing with this receiver right here. Now, when I watch his huddle tape, there are times I'm only seeing bubble screens and he takes you to the house, but he's not like blazing fast. He's just fast enough. He's just good enough to beat you. And when you see a guy like this, I have to trust him. So shout out to Jordan Shipp. It says 6'1.5", out of Providence Day. I have to trust this pedigree of player because I trust Lonnie Galloway. Now, if you guys don't know Lonnie Galloway, that's cool. He is the wide receivers coach, co-offensive coordinator, passing game coordinator, assistant head coach, whatever you want to call him, at North Carolina. What he is he's one of the best recruiters at North Carolina. And he's been coaching, he's been an assistant coach for 27 years, something crazy like that. Okay? He's been coaching a really long time, but you got to follow Lonnie Galloway's track record to understand why I believe in this man. If you go back to where he was before he came to North Carolina, it was Louisville. And when he was at Louisville, the quarterback was Lamar Jackson. And so he just so happens to be recruiting these wide receivers. And what you're going to notice is they utilize 5 wide receivers over 20 receptions. They spread the ball around a bit, but we're talking about he was there through all the years of Lamar Jackson. Is that a coincidence? I don't know, but he tends to evaluate talent correctly. Before that, he was at West Virginia as the wide receivers coach. You know who he was coaching? Tavon Austin and Stedman Bailey. Two of the greatest wide receivers of all time in collegiate history. At the same time, Noel Devine and Geno Smith were at West Virginia. This man just happens to be at the right place at the right time, or maybe he's responsible for developing some phenomenal skill players, some phenomenal wide receivers. So the track record of Lonnie Galloway is just, you can't argue against it. Shout out to Lonnie Galloway and his crew for identifying a young, talented player. And then I just go turn on the tape, and you just see this young man. And I think he's good. They say he's going to wear number 1. But you just see this kid doing more, than you expect from a guy. Look at him outrun these angles. It's beautiful. He's not playing scrubs. If you didn't know, North Carolina produces the 4th most NFL players of any state in America. That's right. They're 4th. They're right behind Florida. It's Texas, California, Florida, and North Carolina. I've made videos on this. Go Google it. You'll get the wrong answer. Google it. You'll get the wrong answer. Go do the work yourself. You'll find out the truth. Shout out to North Carolina. They have a really high quality level of football. Now, this isn't route acumen. This doesn't work for me. But what you do see is a man that can just pull away and not get caught from behind by these dudes. Okay? He's just got the right juice. Now, you do want to see him run routes. And this is a route here. Boom, stop, curl, come back. The fundamentals to come back, shield off my opponent, create space at the top of a route. The fundamentals to box him out. Look at that comeback. And not go straight out of bounds. The body control not to go straight out of bounds on a comeback like that. Just the route fundamentals are there. That's a nice square in, a nice dig. Not afraid to go over the middle. He's showing you the whole route tree. Here's your fade. And I'm going to beat you on this. I'm going to meet at the highest point and get a foot in. That's good on Saturdays. Right? So I'm really impressed with this man. Even when they shade him on the inside, he'll beat you on a slant or a post. And they're trying to double him, and they can't. He just gets it done. And they know they're throwing it to him. The man had 1,100 yards receiving last year as a senior. You watch him. They know he's getting it, and he's running all the routes. It looks like a California pass-first offense. And let me tell you who he reminds me of. And this is going to sound crazy because he's not quite that fast. But when I watched this tape, he reminded me of Kareem Kelly. And you might not know Kareem Kelly. None of the kids know Kareem Kelly, but I do. Kareem Kelly was a state champ at Long Beach Poly in the 200 meters. Darryl Rideau was the 100-meter champ. And they both enrolled at USC. And this was at the cusp of USC becoming great again, right? This was at the cusp. This was right when Pete Carroll got there. And he had to win in-state recruiting battles, get some of these legends of the high school game within that state. And that's exactly what we're looking at here with Jordan Shipp. So I'm excited about Jordan Shipp as a wide receiver. I hope he has a breakout season. He's my hidden gem. I understand the wide receiver room has some seniority to it. There's some other players more explosive. Nate McCollum can stop on a dime and do all these great things out of the slot. But when you're looking for a traditional X or Z wide receiver, you have this man here who's 6'1.5", 6'2", almost 200 pounds, and he's just going to become more and more developed. And we're going to see an Anquan Bolden type of player. Just strong. These DBs can't press him. He's going to get off presses, create space, box him out, use his body correctly. I see fundamentals of a great wide receiver. I love it. Shout out to Lonnie Galloway for identifying talent like this. And that's my hidden gem for North Carolina. Like I said, look at that. He's just always coming back to his quarterback doing things. If you want to see all the other hidden gems on my playlist, go to YouTube, go to the homepage, click playlist, find RicoKnows Hidden Gems, and I'm identifying one of these guys on every team in America. For North Carolina, freshman wide receiver, true freshman wide receiver, Jordan Shipp. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. Peace, y'all.